Good morning guys, welcome to the channel. My name's Derek, also known as Tap Peddler. Welcome back. As you know, I'm renovating my derelict barn to be a business warehouse for my online retail business where I sell things on eBay, Amazon, Etsy, that sort of place. And today I'm dealing with some pointing up here, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do some more bricklaying in the corner. So I'm going to rake out as much as I can out the brickwork there, ready to fix the middle bricks that you can just about see just there. So yeah, that's the plan today. It's quite nice weather. It's a bit cloudy over there, but it's beautiful sunshine everywhere else, so hopefully that will go past and the sun will come out again. So yeah, but before I remove that broken brickwork, I need to mortar in the rest of it so it's really solid, to basically remove all its foundation temporarily when I rebuild it up. So it's important that all of that's done first, so that's today's plan. Okay, to do this job I've got my raking tool. I had to buy another one because unfortunately the other one broke. So yeah, it's just a case of going through and raking it out. So I'm going to do everywhere above this damaged bit, because that's where I'm going to re-mortar, replace the bricks. Okay, I'm doing some pointing now, and the tools I've got for this is a trowel and this tuck pointer. Now what you got to do is spray down the bricks first, so it's nice and damp before you put the mortar in. And then what I do is I get a blob of mortar on here, and then basically I use a tuck pointer, and you basically rub it in like that. This allows you to really sort of push it down into the joints. You always do the horizontal edge first, then you do the perps, which are these, second, because then the new mortar will hold in with the mortar you've put in. It doesn't have to be pretty to begin with, because you can brush it down later. The most important thing is to get lots and lots of mortar pushed right into the gaps, so it creates a huge strong joint. And do one line at a time. mortar mix is a little bit too sloppy, to be honest with you. It should have been a little bit harder for the pointing, but I'll correct that on the next batch. And because I'm up a ladder, I've just mixed a small amount, a small bucket, because I've got to carry it up the ladder to get to the bricks. Okay, that's some of the brickwork repointed, and I've started to remove the excess bricks as well. I'm ready for repointing and cleaning up, and then I've got to rebuild down here, though it's just started to rain, but it's nice sunny weather once this cloud has gone, so hopefully it won't last and I'll be able to get back onto it. That's the progress so far. So that's pointed, and I've got the corner. Now I'm going to put another 2 courses on. First course, what I'm going to do, because what happens on a double skin wall is that you have bricks going the opposite way to tie it in. So if we come round here, usually it's like 4 or 5 courses of bricks you get the opposite way. So yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another opposite way. Now going above there doesn't actually have any ties, so I'm gonna do the next course as a tie course, and eventually when I do the roof I'll replace all these top ones and make those all ties. They are sort of ties there, but they're not bedded in right or anything, so I'm going to put the next course as tie ones, and then on top of the tie ones there'll be another normal course. So I'm happy with that. I've just got to chop off a couple of the ends of these rotten beams so I can get the next course on, and that'll be the final course. But I'm only going to go up to there, sorry, there, because all this needs replacing at the top, and I'll probably do that at some point. It's been quite a nice day working on this, and I don't think it would actually take that long to deal with the top of that. So I might do that at some point and then let it dry, and by the time I actually come to do the roof it'll be nice and set solid. I think it looks okay. I haven't been worrying about keeping stuff too sort of level, mainly because the whole wall is all higgledy-piggledy. So I wanted to make it look like, as it's all sort of tied in, I want to make it look like it's always been like this. So I've sort of done it in a really rough sort of way, because the rest of the wall is like that. But it is sort of straight. The bricks are all uneven because they're all slightly different sizes and stuff like that. So, but I'm quite happy with how it's looking. especially from this corner. I think it looks great there on top of the sandstone that I've repaired. If you compare it to what it used to look like, I'll put a little clip in now of what it used to look like at this angle, and it's night and day really. So really pleased with that. So that's the final top of the wall. You can see this joist, this beam from the what will be a floor joist eventually, is pretty much at the top of the wall. Allows me to just put a little bit of packing wood underneath as well, but I'm sure this is probably dropped anyway, so that'll be fine. That'll be quite good like that. My plan here is basically to chop the beam and then sister in a new joist that will come onto the wall. You can see this one's dropped here, and what I plan to do now is basically brace this one and that one up to this one and screw that in, because this isn't great. So if I can get this screwed in somehow, or brace it on, maybe just put a bit of wood behind, just to support it for now. This will have to be replaced. It's too rotted, but it will do for now, just to hold it, because as you can see there is tile still on the roof. This one is also the same. Pretty much these three basically need replacing. As you can see down here, that's the inside of the wall. I'm doing a single skin just along this part, and I've got the final corner here. I've run out of mortar now, so I'll have to finish this off tomorrow, but I've just got the last bits, and I'm doing it up to this point because I've got the joists on the bricks there, and it's only actually jacked up with the acro props up to about halfway along the roof, so I can't really do the rest of it right now. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it though. So now I'm going to support these beams. I think that's the next thing. As you can see, bricks I'm using, this one is Hill of Beef. There's another one there, Hill of Beef. There's a Lockside brick there. There was another one as well. I think I've built over the top of that, so I don't know what that was. But these are all the original bricks that either came off this building or they're being found in the barn. So it's nice that it's all going to be using some sort of an original brick. As you can see, I've got loads of them. Problem is though, a lot of them are all smashed up, so I've been using all the good ones here best I can. There's a few ones that are a little bit damaged in the corners, and when I've used them, what I've done, I've used them inside the wall and just added more mortar in, but most of them have been great. Okay, it's the next day. Let me show you what I've done so far. I've already started. I've done some pointing. There you go, you can see I've started to point up around here. So once I've done that and got to the top, or where I've already pointed, I've got to replace, there's a brick just there that I'm going to replace, and then I've got to replace all these bricks. Once I've done that, I'll start to do the corner there, bring that down. Okay, so now I've started removing the bricks here. I've removed this section, doing it a section at a time, because obviously if I remove too many it will collapse. So it's held, I mean these are ties, so it should be pretty safe as long as this stays in position. to remove these course of bricks. So they're removed, just basically got to relay them back in with the new bricks, and then I'll probably leave that then and then move on to these ones. I'll probably replace that brick, and that brick, and then I can continue my wall down. So I've got some mortar mixed and I've got replacement bricks. Okay, so that's the inside done. Right, so that's the inside here. I've rebuilt it back up and using these sloped bricks. Hopefully that will be okay for the tile. It's hard to tell really until I actually get the new roof cover in, but I'm pretty sure that will be about the right profile. Worst comes to worst, I'll just have to take these last course of bricks off and redo them as I put the roof on. So there's going to be another brick here, and I'm going to fill in this inner course as well. I've built it up with old bricks and stuff to build up this course. So this doesn't have to be pretty bricks. So I've got plenty of not great looking bricks I can use to just fill that area in and bring it right up to here, I think, so it will tie in. And then I've got the actual course on the other side. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. That's the outer skin. Still not sure whether the bricks, there's too many bricks to get out. Because there's going to be flashing when I put the roof on anyway, but without the actual roof covering, it's very difficult to figure out where to put it. So I'm just going to build it up like that for now. Worst comes to worst, I'll have to knock a couple of the outer course off and just redo them at the time, but that won't be an issue. I think I've got a few more to fill in at the top. Same sort of thing, because the pitch of the roof is different to the natural pitch of the tile and half. So yeah, one more brick on the outside there, and then the inner course on that side, and then that's done then. Okay, so that's the job done. Pretty pleased with that. Looks quite in keeping. You can't really see, I don't think, any repairs. It just looks like it's always been like that, which is good. Nicely repointed. You can see it isn't quite a smooth gradient. That's because I don't really know where the final roof will go. So I might have to take off a couple of these final bricks or even add a couple depending on how the slope of the roof works. I won't really know that until I put the metal panels on, so that'll be fine for now. I'm just going to put the tiles over the top the best I can. A bit like I have at the top. It doesn't look pretty, but keeps the water out just until I do the roof on that barn next year. But the main thing is that this roof, I can now put the flashing against this wall and seal it and all of that, and not have to revisit any of this, and I don't have to stand on the roof and that sort of thing. And of course it's not going to fall down as well, which is always a good thing. I've still got to repoint the rest of this wall and repair the top along the top there, because I want it to basically be the same as what I've repaired there, and it's all loose and stuff at the top. So I will be doing that. It's a couple of weeks later now, and I'm back out here finishing off this job, doing the brickwork at the corner of this barn. I've sorted out, I'm running out of bricks, but I've sorted out some decent looking bricks that will match in to go on that last course you can just about see there. I'm reusing some of the ones that were at the top of the roof that have been cut off at an angle, because because that would be ideal for the tiles anyway. As I say, I'm running quite low on sort of bricks that look decent, and whole bricks. I've got loads of half bricks, but yeah, I really need to sort out some more bricks because I've got a few things I need to fix as well as this. But this is the job for now. So I've sorted out those, going to get those mortared in. The course behind, because it's a double skin wall, I'm going to use these sort of bricks, engineered bricks, and you know, ones that are a bit rougher, but they'll be fine. You know, ones with a bit of damage at the back and that sort of thing. They'll be fine at the back because, you know, they're not on display. And they're fine. I've only got a few. If you have a look at the other side, you can just about see I've got another skin to fill in. You can see there. Probably don't really need to do it, to be honest with you, but might as well. And then once I've done that, I'm gonna put a membrane over there, put some battens over the top, and get that recovered up, so that will be drier then in that barn. Yeah, then that will be done. I can take the scaffolding down, we can reuse that as we rebuild the timbers up here. So yeah, let's crack on. I'll just bring you up the top of the scaffolding quickly. If I can climb up and hold the phone at the same time, which isn't very safe. Yeah, so this is the inner side of it. So it's all rebuilt. I've used the best bricks I can here. It's all pretty belts and braces, loads of mortar, and then I can just put the roofing sheets across, all the way across here, the replacement battens. I'm going to put the membrane down first and then put the tiles, and I'm going to have the tiles, a bit like up there, they go over the top hopefully of these bricks, and that will keep the water off them, and that will do until next year. Okay, now let's get the membrane on and some roof tiles on here. Right, so I'm now fixing the top of this roof. I've put temporary battens up here and I'm just going to hang the tiles down. They're all just screwed best I can so I can cover the new wall. And this is until I properly re-roof it next year. But at least this will get it dry. So yeah, it's just a case of putting the tiles across now onto here. Okay, that's the roof sorted here now. Quite pleased with the tiles here. So yeah, job done. So yeah, things are progressing really well. I appreciate everybody's comments on the videos. Please leave one on this. Let me know what you think of the work so far. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.